Hello everyone, my name is Anya Hawkins, welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about a project on my knitting needles, on my body, and on my list of upcoming knitting patterns to publish. And yes, they are all one and the same project, Nanjing Cherry Tee. First, let's talk a little about summer knitting in general. I always knitted wildly different things for myself and for others: big garments, small accessories, socks, bags, everything that you can imagine. And the only thing that I never dabbled in was summer knitting. And look at me now, preparing to release my second summer knitting pattern. So what changed? Well, first of all, my attitude towards knitting projects, because knitting in my mind was always something that was strongly associated with winter time. Knitted garments were always to help keep warm. And before I started writing knitting patterns, I actually didn't even knit in the summer because it's just too hot for that. Our summer here is very hot, and on top of it it's also humid, so the weather is just, it's brutal, and it's just not comfortable to keep something very warm in your lap and work on something in wool, for example. It's just too hot. It's not pleasant to work with wool in such hot weather. But now that I'm a designer, I don't want to put my knitting on hold for several months just because it's so hot. So I decided to give summer knitting a chance. And with some trial and error, I determined for myself a set of rules that summer knitting should follow to make it pleasant in every way. And by that I mean that it should be pleasant to work with in hot weather, and the finished garment should be appropriate for hot weather also. Because in the end I didn't want to have something that will only look like summer appropriate garment. I wanted something truly comfortable. I wanted something that I could wear not only in air-conditioned environment like inside. When I'm knitting something summery, I want to have a garment in the end that I will be able to wear on a hike, that I would be able to wear to the beach or on the boat or in a city environment. Something that I would be comfortable, like walking into the mall, for example, and be comfortable there inside, but then walking outside in the sunshine and be comfortable there too. And I think I achieved that with my summer knitting. It just has to follow 3 simple rules. First rule, natural fibers. Nothing synthetic will do. Even blends will not do. Only 100% cotton, linen or silk. I haven't tried bamboo yet, but I can speak from experience about cotton and linen and silk that they will actually cool you down. And they will never get smelly even if you will sweat like synthetic fibers. So first rule is natural fibers. And second rule is thin yarn and loose gauge. The fabric should be flowy and drapey and very breathable. So every little breeze, every gust of the wind will just go right through this fabric, and it will caress your skin and it will cool you down. And it's a very pleasant feeling when you wear something like this t-shirt that looks solid, it's not see-through, and every little breeze you can feel how it goes right against your skin and it just cools you down, and it's very nice. And third rule is positive ease. Freedom for every body part. Comfort is everything. Nothing should restrain any movements, nothing should pinch anything, and God forbid that the fabric will ride against your armpit, for example. Everything should be loose and flowy. Then, even in hot and humid weather, like we have here, you could be comfortable in summer garments. And all those parameters that I determined for myself, I put into this, my latest design, Nanjing Cherry Tee. I'm wearing the original sample and I'm knitting another one in different color. So how I came up with it? Well, I'm a yarn first person. And this t-shirt, original sample, the red one, was born out of desire to continue working with this red yarn. I used it to knit my tutorial sample of my previous knitting pattern, apricot top, and I have a lot of this yarn. And even when I was still knitting my apricot top, I knew that I want to work more with this yarn. The color is just amazing, and it reminded me of Nanjing cherries that are just all over my garden, and that's why I named this t-shirt Nanjing Cherry Tee, after Nanjing Cherry Tea. Black tea goes very well with those cherries. And this is how it usually works for me. I start with the yarn and I see the color and I feel the texture, and it usually reminds me of something out of nature, like in this case those berries, and then together with yarn it all comes together into knitting project and eventually into a knitting pattern. And let me show you some footage of me modeling my original sample of this t-shirt while I will tell you about it. Nanjing Cherry Tee is very simple, minimalistic design, and it's very beginner friendly. I specifically made a point to construct it in a way that it wouldn't require any finishing techniques whatsoever. You cast it on, knit it top down in the round, bind off, and that's all. There is no need to pick up any stitches, there is no I-cord finishing, no ribbing, no crochet edges, nothing like that. The neck, bottom hem and bottoms of the sleeves are decorated with the seed stitch pattern and eyelets, and thanks to that the fabric is not curling onto itself. And also it looks just nice and fresh. The raglan lines are done with simplest yarn over increases, they are very easy to do, and at the same time they create a subtle lace motif and additional ventilation, because you can never have too much holes in a summer garment. Also, the neck opening is big enough so the edge doesn't need to stretch. Same goes for sleeve and hem edges. Once again, no complicated techniques here. Any cast on and bind off will do. I recommend and show in a tutorial a certain matching ones, but they can be swapped for your preferred ones. I'll be honest with you, this t-shirt pattern has one drawback that can scare knitters away. I realize that, but there's nothing can be done if you want your t-shirt to be summer appropriate, and that is a lot of stockinette stitch in the round. It's a thin yarn, so it can take time. I personally am a fast knitter. I can whip out such t-shirt in a week, but for some it can be tedious to knit so much stockinette stitch. But knitting is a slow craft, and I think that it is to be expected from such a project, that it will take some time. As you can see, I'm almost done with this sample. This one I'm knitting and filming a tutorial at the same time. I already filmed all the techniques, I'm finishing my second sleeve, and that means that the tutorial is almost ready too. And the pattern itself was ready for ages. I didn't release it yet because I wanted to release it together with the tutorial. I don't like to release a pattern first and tutorial sometime in the future. I think that they should go together, and it will be very soon. So stay tuned. Tutorial I will post on this channel, and the Nanjing Cherry Tee knitting pattern will be available on Ravelry and on Ko-fi. All the links as usual are down below in the info box, both for Ravelry store and for Ko-fi store. And by the way, on Ko-fi you will be able to get this pattern a little earlier than on Ravelry and at a better price. And I guess that is everything that I wanted to talk to you about today. I just wanted to update you on my upcoming pattern, and I did that. Right now I don't have any other significant news, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!